everyone, this is God in the Center with Matthew. This may or may not be the last time you've seen me at this house. So maybe the video will be in a different spot, I don't know. I've been working on it, trying to get out of here and everything, and it's just, anyways, we're going to go to Mark chapter 8 today. In those days, the multitude being very great and having nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples unto him and said unto them, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have now been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. And if I send them away fasting to their own houses, they will faint by the way, for divers of them have came from far. And his disciples answered him, From whence can a man satisfy these men with bread here in the wilderness? And he asked them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7. He commenced to the people, sit down on the ground, and he took the 7 loaves, gave thanks, and brake, and gave to his disciples to set before them. And they did set them before the people. And they had a few small fishes. And he blessed and commanded to set them there also before them. So they did eat and were filled, and they took up the broken meat that was left in 7 baskets. And they that had eaten were about 4,000, and he sent them on his way. And straightly he entered into the ship with the disciples and came to the parts of Dalmatia. So, like, Jesus performed an extraordinary miracle. He had, I think 7 loaves of bread, they said, and just a few fish, it said. I don't know if a few fish could be 2, it could be 4 or 5. It's under 10, a few fish. I figured. I don't know, I could be wrong. But he fed 4,000 men with that little bit of stuff, and there was still stuff left over. So it's just really, saying to me that God can do anything. It don't matter how dire your situation looks right now. God can provide if you're willing to believe in Him and ask Him to provide. He will provide. Because God didn't deny it. He knew them people was going to go on their way, and they needed something that'd be famished. Basically He said. So He provided for them because they was there following after Him. So yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Is we need to follow after Jesus for us to get the desires of our heart, or to just get the things we need to sustain life. This past 2 months has been nothing but a miracle of God for me. From me losing my job to me getting the job that's allowed me to stay down here while I'm transitioning, getting the stuff out of this house and getting moved. There's no other way to describe what has happened to me other than God did it, and I'm thankful for Him. And I need to be doing one of these videos. I was doing 1 a week or even 2 a week during my little shutdown, I call it. But it's been about 10 days or something like that. So I knew I had to get it in today. It's just I've been really busy, but they had no excuse. I couldn't find time for God. God finds all the time for me, and He takes care of everybody. So I'm going to go on to verse 11. Then the Pharisees came forth and began to question with him, seeking him a sign from heaven, tempting him. And he sighed deeply in his spirit and saith, Why doth this generation seek after a sign? Verily I say to you, there should be no sign given to you in this generation. And he left them and entered into the ship again, departed the other side. Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread, neither had they in the ship with them more than 1 loaf. And he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of the Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It is because we have no bread. And when then Jesus knew it, he said to them, Why reason ye because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not yet, neither understand? Have ye heart yet hardened? Having eyes, seen ye not, and having ears, hear not, and do ye not remember? When I brake the 5 loaves among the 5,000, how many baskets of fragments took up ye? They said unto him, 12. And then the 7 among 4,000, how many baskets of full fragments took ye? They said, 7. And he said to them, how is it that you do not understand? And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him. Hold on, I'm going to stop right there. He says, how do you not understand? So like this is what we do as Christians. Like God does all this stuff. So like, just to say this, for instance, when God had done things for me in the past, and then this happened to me with the whole job situation, I was like, God, why are you doing this to me? Or why are you allowing this to happen? But you know what? It's like, God's like, you don't even know who I am. Like, what are you talking about? Do you not understand? Do you not understand who I am and what I'm about? These guys in the boat were griping about not having no food. I was griping about not having no job, so I can compare my situation with them. But he's got something beautiful working in my life, I mean, this house hunt's a little hard because they're wanting more money than houses are worth up there in that area. I don't understand it because I live out here on the beach, so I should go to plenty get a nice house up there in Birmingham or somewhere in the outskirts of it. And it seems like everybody's just wanting crazy money for stuff that's like, well, I just sold a house, and it's not like that down here. I mean, the price you're saying that the price of a house up there in that area is the same as the price. They're crazy, but God's going to work it out. That's another thing I'm dealing with right now. God's going to work it out. I just truly believe it. It's just I gotta have faith and know that God is who He is and who He says He is and what He's going to do. So I'm going to go on to verse 22 now. And he cameth to Bethsaida. They bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him off to the town. And when he spat on his eyes and put his hands on them, he asked him if he saw aught. He looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that he put his hands upon his eyes and made him look up, and he restored and saw every man clearly. And he sent him on his way to his house, saying, Neither go into the town nor tell it to anyone in the town. And Jesus went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea Philippi, and by the way he asked his disciples, saying to them, Whom do men say I am? And they answered, John the Baptist, but some say Elijah, and others one of the prophets. He said to them, But who do you say I am? And Peter answered and said to him, Thou art the Christ. And he charged them that they should tell no man of him. So, this is what's going on in the world today. Do you believe Jesus is God? Jesus is the Christ? Or do you believe Muhammad's a God? Or do you believe Buddha is? It's the same thing going on in the world today. Some people just think, but I'll tell you one thing, that the Buddhists, the Muslims and all them do know Jesus was here. Now, they don't believe he was God, but they do all know he was here. And he was a good man. He did all the stuff that they say he did in the Bible. That's one thing. Every one of these religions do know Jesus is real. Jesus is documented. He was here. He was alive, and he was well, and he was God. Well, whether you want to, it says it's up to you to decide who you say he is, though. And he began to teach them. Verse 31. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he spake and sang openly. And Peter took him and began to rebuke him. But then he had heard about and looked on his disciples. he rebuked Peter, saying, Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou art not the things that be of God, but of the things that be of men. And when he had called the people unto him, and his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. So what God is saying, what Jesus is saying right here, is we have to deny our flesh. We have to deny the desires of our flesh. You know, he's talking about Peter, get behind me, Satan, for thou art not the things of God, but the things that be of men. Things that be of men is pornography, is lust, is money, just everything with money. Me clearing out this house was an eye-opening thing. It's like, I've got so much stuff I don't even know what to do with this stuff. Like, some of it's going to go in the trash. I've been having to give stuff away. And it's like, so for what? Why did I spend that money? Well, it's like me chasing after things of this earth. And I could have been doing other things with that money that would have been better served to the community, or to plant seeds into ministries, or whatever. Or it could, whatever else. It's just sometimes we chase things of this world, and that's what Jesus is saying, for us to like chase after him and the things that he's called us to do, and to deny our flesh. And you know, I struggle with swear words sometimes. I used to be really bad, and there's been points to where I can still get bad. I'm not perfect. That's something me denying my flesh, because I do like swearing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't like it. I like cussing. I like saying what I want to say and have no filter. But that's not really what God wants me to do, especially in the position he's got me in right now. So it's really, I'm having to really deny my flesh in that category. And that's, everybody should be trying to deny their flesh and stuff like that. Lusting after women, it's just not good. It said, God even Jesus says, if you just look lustful at a woman, you've done committed adultery in the heart. Well, if the woman's married, I don't know, you've committed something else if they're not married. But being even lustful, and that's hard for any man to do if you want to get honest with yourself. I don't know about women, because I'm not a woman, so I don't know how they are, but it's the same goes for them. You know, coveting the neighbor's stainless, I mean, you know, what they're doing. Like, I've got that kind of issue going on here. These daggum neighbors around here, they're just so daggum nosy and want to get in my business about stuff that they don't even need to get in my business about. It ain't none of their business what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. It really isn't. They need to be worried about themselves. That's what I do. I worry about myself. I don't worry about what everybody else is doing. If somebody needs some help, I'll give them help. But I don't judge nobody. I don't try to persecute nobody. I try to leave people alone until they come to me. And if I can help them, I will help them. But you know, sometimes you can be too helpful, and it harms them. Enabler is what that's called. Enabling somebody. I had a friend of this weekend talking to me about somebody that's caused a bunch of trouble at their house, and they're trying to take up for the person. And their children even said they was bad people. They're trying to take up for them. I'm like, why are you taking up for these people? Your children don't like them. And like, evidently they did some stuff wrong. You know, there's no reason to take up for these people. You know, there's just no reason to take up. You're enabling. When you take up for somebody and tell them, oh, you're doing good, and they're not, man, that's enabling. Giving people money that's on drugs, that's enabling. Anyways, I'm going to go on to verse 36. This goes along with these last two verses. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And all this stuff we're chasing after, is it worth us going to hell over? Is it worth us like forgetting who God is and forgetting, thank God? But everything comes from God. I mean, you know, I'm to the point in my life, I don't really have to make a whole bunch of money. I want to live life and be comfortable. And, you know, if money comes, it comes. But like, I'm not trying to chase, man. I squandered the last 20 years of my life chasing after money. Chasing after money. And what has it profited me? It hasn't profited me nothing. So, you know, I could be further in life probably if I hadn't been. I mean, some of the stuff was necessary. Some of it was like just me doing a good job. I mean, all them hours that I put in, I mean, it did help me, but man, what did it really give me? It gave me a lot of knowledge, but like, it's just, man, it's just so hard in this world right now. You have to work 60 or 70 hours to survive. And that's BS, man. These rich people are just so daggum greedy. They just want to sit on their yachts and smoke their little cigars and drink their $5,000 bottles of liquor and just laugh at all us. And it's just, they should be ashamed of themselves. You know what? Them type of people ain't gonna make it into the heaven. It says a rich man, camel can walk through the eye of a needle easier than a rich man get to heaven, because they're just after the lust of the flesh, and they don't care about nobody. I'm not gonna say all the rich people are dumb, but I'm just telling you what the scripture says. So I'm not saying that being wealthy is a bad thing, but like, if you're just being greedy and causing other people hurt by getting to that point, then that's not good. And it says what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? If you're giving up, you're screwing people over to make a few more hours, so you end up burning hell over it. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense, and I want to really study on that some more. But I've got this last little bit. Whosoever then shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous generation and sinful generation, of him also the Son of Man shall be ashamed, and he cometh into the glory of his Father with the holy angels. So he's saying if you deny Jesus here on earth, he's going to deny you in heaven. I'll never deny Jesus. Jesus is the King. Jesus is the Lord of my life, and if it was not for Jesus, I would still, I'd be dead or alive. I would be dead or in jail, prison probably. You know, Jesus has put me on that instead. I'm able to have bought a house and I'm fixing to sell it, and then, you know, move on to my next chapter of my life. So there's some things that I wish was better, or wish that I'd accomplished by now, but I trust in God fully. I trust in God. He's going to provide all that for me. And just like the disciples, after they fed all them fish, they had one loaf and they was riding in the water. They thought they was going to starve to death or something. And they just seen Jesus perform miracles. I've done seen Jesus perform miracles in my life, time after time after time after time. I've seen the work that he's done in my life, and I still want to question him. So if anybody's watching that's questioning God, I want you to go back. I want you to rewind your life and remember all the things that God has done for you, and just think about it. You may be going through a storm right now, but the storm can't last forever. So I ask anybody that hadn't been baptized to get a hold of me or a local church that is trustworthy, because all the churches aren't trustworthy. They may tell you that you don't got to be baptized. You can say a little sinner's prayer. If that's what the church says, flee from it, because they're teaching a false gospel. Jesus himself was baptized. Jesus told Jesus preached on the baptism. You know, he told Nicodemus, asked him what he had to do to be born. He said, go get baptized, and Ananias baptized him. He was born again once he hit the water. So I'm sort of around this point. My thing is today, take your cross, carry it. Do not go after the things of this world. I'm not saying don't try to make a good living. I'm not saying none of that. But if you're having to hurt people to do that, or you're doing stuff that you know you ain't supposed to be doing, like you're cheating on your wife, or you're getting high every day, or you're getting drunk every day, give it to God. Pray to God about it. You know, it's just a bad situation. We're in the lust of the flesh, and I've got stuff going on that I'm dealing with, and everybody does. And anybody that says they're not is a liar. It don't matter what preacher is up on TV that you're listening to. It don't matter about, none of them's holier than thou. They can say they are, but they're lying to themselves, and they're lying to the world, and they're lying to Jesus. I'm here to tell you, there's no perfect man. The only one here that was perfect was Jesus Christ, and they crucified him. With that, I'll let you go. I hope everyone will have a blessed day, and if you liked it, like, share, and subscribe, and comment. Thank you. Have a blessed day.